for all the members of the services that we lost in 9/11. And I'd also like to take another moment for Gene Matney Sr., who passed away 9/3/2024. He used to work for the Wappingers Central School District up until he retired in 2002.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Item number 4.01, Superintendent's Report, Winter Circle Project.
Thank you, President McFarland, members of the Board of Education, members of the Wappinger Central School District community. It is a great honor this evening to shine a spotlight on a program that just completed its first year here in the Wappinger Central School District. It's called the Winter Circle Project. And I can't begin to tell you the profound impact that this has had on many of our students. We've talked about our commitment to career and technical education. This is an example of one of the ways in which we provide opportunities in career and technical education for our students. So I'm going to turn it over now to our Director of Technology, Mr. Art Schouten. Mr. Schouten?
Sorry, I gotta do double duty here. Good evening, Board of Education, Dr. Bonk, and members of senior staff. Sorry, literally doing double duty this evening. This evening, I would like to present on the Winter Circle projects, which we did with both Roy C. Ketchum and John Jay this particular year. As I said, I just want to take a moment before we get started with all this. It's been a very exciting evening with having the cars and our students and staff with us this evening. But the board's support has created an invaluable learning experience for Wappinger students and helped reinforce our relationships with our community throughout this past year and in years to come. I'd also like to thank our John Jay and Roy C.K. instructional staff, all of whom are with us this evening. We have Mr. William Roos from John Jay, as well as Mr. Chris Pelosi. From Roy C. Ketchum, we have Mr. Lucas Bliss and Mr. Ron Remick. So what is the Winter Circle Project? It is most definitely a true project-based, hands-on STEAM program that is set to inspire young and innovative minds in the automotive industry. Within year one, each team was tasked with building a 1965 Shelby Cobra replica kit from Factory 5, which many of you guys just got to see sitting outside. The teams had to design, develop, and produce their marketing strategies throughout the entire year. Teams also participated in an online live-streamed virtual race each month throughout the year. Each of these categories is what the teams would be scored upon at the end of the program. Here's a variety of our photos. These are all from our students last year working on the cars, both at John Jay and Ketchum. When I quite literally say these cars came in pieces, even if we went upstairs right now, it is a huge mess of boxes. and body parts that the students have to inventory and prepare as we get ready to build these vehicles. This here is one of our sim racers. This is over at John Jay. We participated every month in a variety of different races. We also had opportunities to practice and train within the classroom as well. This is a difficult car to operate. The students did phenomenal jobs. I crashed within like 2 seconds.
The simulator, not the car.
No, the simulator. They wouldn't let me near the car after driving the simulator. They took the keys away from me.
Just wanted to double check.
Throughout the year, we also had the team members from the Winner's Circle project come in. Not only is this just a project for our students to work on, and we have the vehicles and our marketing teams, but the Winner's Circle project has an amazing team of leaders. We have them with us tonight. Pius is with us. Pius, please stand so everybody can see you. We also have one of the two Mateos with us this evening as well. And in one of the other photographs is also Mike Doherty. He is our build lead. He comes in quite often to help with the students on building the car themselves. We have had numerous conversations, numerous presentations. The Winner's Circle project comes in and works with the students on what it means to market vehicles.
Thank Chris Dyson from Dyson Racing. He has been an integral piece in this project. And I want to give everyone notice of the work that Chris has done in working in this project and helping to mentor our students. So I wanted to mention that.
Absolutely. But the Winner's Circle project comes in on a monthly basis to work with our students on a variety of different projects, team building exercises. We were over at John Jay today for the kickoff team building activity, and they will be in throughout the year as they were with last year. Both teams also ran professional quality social media campaigns throughout the year. These are a couple snapshots from both Instagram and Facebook. If you want to follow this year's builds, get on there as soon as you can because it has already started. This is a great way to watch what is happening in the classroom and see what the build, how the build's going, what they're doing. The students create all their own content, edit all their own videos. It's absolutely phenomenal to watch. There's literally updates every day, every other day on these platforms. And I just posted these too. There's actually YouTube, TikTok. There's a number of platforms that the students are using. I just grabbed these for the presentation. We also had a number of other additional learning opportunities that the students got to take part in last year. Last year, we actually kicked off the school year. I think it was like the second or third day of school. We took the students along with Dr. Bonk up to Watkins Glen to see the previous year's car builds and their final championship, where they crowned last year's winner. The students got to go to the Factory 5 facility out in Massachusetts for an overnight trip where they got a full private tour of Factory 5, as well as participating in some go-kart racing and team building exercises while they're out there. Speaking of Chris Dyson, the students also had a personalized tour of Dyson Racing, hosted by Dutchess County's own local and racer, Chris Dyson. The teams also had the opportunity to visit the Malcolm Praise Center, Achievement Center in Bedford, New York. Most of these we have planned for again this year, plus additional trips. Here's some photos of those trips. That upper right-hand corner is one of Chris Dyson's Trans Am race cars. That car is beautiful in person. At the end of last year, to cap off our 2024 build season, the Winner's Circle project invited our teams to Lime Rock Park the Friday before Memorial Day weekend to present their finished builds and marketing pitches in front of a panel of judges, parents, participants, and other esteemed attendees. Here's a few examples of the marketing and branding that the students had to put together. In addition to building the car and racing in the sim races, our business ed classes were also designing custom logos, newsletters, postcard information, press releases, and 30-second commercials, which were all part of the program. Mr. Reber's going to give me a quick hand here. These are the 30-second videos up from John Jay Racing and Ketchum Racing.
When I was younger, I always dreamed about building my own car. The thrill of starting from scratch and overcoming hardships, the excitement of finishing the car, being able to play with it, maybe one day. As I grew up, I thought I could build it on my own, but doing it with friends made it so much more rewarding. Ketchum Racing, making dreams a reality.
It looks like John Jay's catching up.
Hey, focus here, man. We gotta win this thing.
Perfect. Thank you, Mr. Rubik. So as you can see in those two commercials themselves, the students put a lot of creativity and hard work into putting those commercials together. Those were one of my favorite pieces to see at Lime Rock. Some other additional learning opportunities that our students got to experience over the past year through the Winter Circle Project, and this one here, Carter's actually with us this evening. Carter had the opportunity to work with the tech inspection team for Trans Am at both Lime Rock Park and Watkins Glen this summer. And as I found out this evening, he's also going out to Arizona shortly for what's it, Barrett Jackson? For the Barrett Jackson auction event, correct?
Carter, I hope you don't mind, but I'm going to put you on the spot.
Okay.
I figured it would be. Could you come up here and talk about this experience? Let's have a round of applause for Carter, please.
All right, thank you for having me. So, went on 2 excursions over the summer, first at Lime Rock in May, and in August at Watkins Glen. Got to be a part of the Trans Am team, kind of working alongside of them, seeing what the racing world is like. You know, checking ride heights on cars and doing all the stuff that somebody that works in racing would do. And getting to experience that firsthand is something you wouldn't get anywhere else. So it was an unbelievable opportunity.
And you took great advantage of it. We're very proud of you. Thanks. Thank you, Carter.
And as you can see in the photos up there in the presentation, those are just a few shots of Carter at the racetracks, taking a couple of photos while also working that day, which is absolutely incredible. Moving on, we had another student here from Ketchum, Stephen, who had received a scholarship that he earned through the Winter Circle Project to attend a 2-week college business course through Marist College. Stephen received college credits for his participation in this course and will be able to use them when he enrolls in college in the future. And one of our students from John Jay, Jose, had developed an interest in automotive bodywork and repair while working on the car. Mr. Roos was able to use his professional connections with a local business, Exotic Car Coachworks over in Hopewell, to actually get Jose an apprenticeship last year where he could continue to work and expand both his knowledge and skills. So what's to come? Well, the cars are here. The 2025 cars arrived last week and are in the shops. They have already begun working on the vehicles, inventorying all the parts, doing the body work, and getting ready. Additionally, we have some of those photos there are from the team building exercises as well that were all there. This year, one of the additional trips we are doing is to the BMW facility in New Jersey. So we're looking forward to that. That's where they prototype and run a lot of their vehicles. So it'll be exciting, but it's also a no cell phone area. So unfortunately, we'll get some photos where we can, but we have to follow very strict policies while we're down there because BMW is running some amazing product there. So on behalf of the Winter Circle Project, Ketchum Racing and John Jay Racing, we just want to again thank you for your support. This program has created invaluable learning experiences for our Wappinger students through their hands-on learning opportunities, both within the classroom and within the community. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Director Schouten. So again, this is one example of how we are preparing our students for the future. We realize not all of them are going to go on to college. We realize that there are many jobs in the skilled trades. This is one way in which we continue to foster that awareness and that growth in those areas. So with that, I am very, very pleased to announce my friend, Senator Robert Rollison, who is here this evening. And Senator Rollison has been a huge supporter of our school district. I want to thank him for fighting for state funding for Wappinger schools. I want to thank him for fighting for school safety funding for Wappinger schools. And I want to thank him for his support of career and technical education in Albany. Ladies and gentlemen, Senator Robert Rollison.
So I have to fully admit that in this job as a elected official, you kind of go by what the schedule says and where you're going to go and what time you're going to be there. And the superintendent and I had a brief conversation about this Winter Circle event tonight at a recent Chamber of Commerce meeting. So it was on the schedule to go, and I read the email which kind of described the project, which I have to say, when the superintendent and I first spoke about it, I didn't really realize what the project was, other than he was very excited about it. So if he's excited about it, I'm excited about it, and I'm coming to the Board of Education meeting tonight to know more about it. So, I pull up in the parking lot, and I always get places early, so I'm kind of just sitting there looking at my phone. I'm like, there's a bunch of people standing out in front of the main entrance. I should probably go over. It's like 7:14, 7:15. And I'm walking up, and I see these two cars. And I'm like, what is that? What are those cars? Those are the cars. Those are the AC Cobras that, as a kid growing up in the 70s, wanted one. And the closest that I ever came to really seeing one is a friend of mine had a Shelby Cobra that he used to rip around Spackington in like a madman. And then I got a 66 Triumph convertible in my senior year, and which lasted all of about a year until it sort of kind of rotted out. And then 25 years ago, I bought a 1972 TR6, which is my little pride and joy. Those cars are at a whole other level. And to hear about this project from Pius and understanding what you are doing and your organization is doing in that career and technical aspect, and as the superintendent has said, and we've heard this before, not everybody is going to go to college. Not everybody wants to go to college. We have so many other careers out there that are needed, and they're needed to be filled. This is a whole industry that has this opportunity for students from the Wappinger Central School District to get involved in. And then you take it, another part, it's just not a build. I mean, the build is great, but then it's the marketing aspect of these vehicles. And the industry has those two disciplines and more, is that, yeah, we're going to build them, and yeah, we're going to sell them, and we need people to do both. And they're really great careers, much like the aviation industry is, and other things where DCC has the aviation school at the Dutchess County Hudson Valley Regional Airport, which are great opportunities. So I really, again, kind of walking into this, Mr. Superintendent, and knowing something great was happening here, I didn't realize just how great and how comprehensive this is for the students and the families and the instructors and the faculty members that are doing it. But my hat's off to the Winner's Circle Project for doing this here. And so as a Spack and Kill grad, and I don't really have a horse in the race of Jay versus Ketchum. Both cars are great. Both of the videos were great and creative. So you got two great high schools, competing to build and competing to market. And congratulations to all of you. And I believe something like 70 students took place in that. I mean, and that in itself is just a huge number to begin with. And now there's a new build going on, which now becomes part of the fabric here of Wappingers. And, it's just great to be here to say thank you. We have Senate certificates for all of the participants. Again, sometimes you just don't know what you're walking into, and you walk into it, you say, hey, this is really good. Thank you.
Senator, thank you very much. I'm going to read through the list of names. I understand that not everyone could attend this evening, but the district and the senator want to recognize these outstanding accomplishments. Stephen Polichetti, Ryland Brown, Matthew Bell, Sargon Hogue, Mia Hernandez, Dominic Quatoni, Anthony Masterilli, Aiden Gaza, Jeremiah Schneck, Kyler Bosick, Jeremy Virtuoso Franco, Keisha Carolla, Paris, Giles, Joseph Petroka, Keza Brown, Grace Carroll, Emil Corporan, Nalawit Danielle, Jacob Dreyfus, Carter Griggs, who you heard from earlier, Chloe Hilton, Ishan Ilias, Roxana Jackson, Justin Lopez, Andrew Mendoza, Hayden McInerney, Aaron Ramos, Chickasee Robinson, Cody Schmidt, Dylan Temis, Drin Zaharka, and that concludes the list of the individuals who were involved. Congratulations and thank you so much. So at this point, Senator, if you would like to approach.
Do you have John Jay on the other side?
No, they're both on the same side.
His secretary's that good, both were on side one.
Or not?
Apparently, I just read side one, and there is not a side two, but yeah, I was adding that up. It didn't come to 70. I'm surprised you didn't know that, Trustee Lumia. You didn't chime in on that.
I would have, but I would have been embarrassing, I think.
Yeah? Oh, you would never want to embarrass me, would you? All right, let me try this. All right, John Jay High School. Jasmine Benedict. Oh, this is easier to read. Thank you, Trustee Owens. Gabriella DeLange Marks. Mark Doss. Aiden Farrell. Ty Fresnita. Arif Gaffour, Liam Giorgio, Brody Lippert, William McLean, Cameron Montes, Ian Miller, Naj Pala, Josie Rosa Casanova, Hiroyuku Sakoma, Jackson Santiago, Richard Sapienza, Nicholas Snowden, Joshua Williams, Zaid Alabushi, Michael Bobert, Gavin Campbell, Nicholas Carazola, Christian Garcia, Julio Garcia Ramirez, Shakir Haley, Adrian Hernandez, Jacob Matthew, Brady McLaughlin, Cole Mullen, John Norris, Nicholas Perricone, Xavier Pecor, Joshua Rosenberg, Boston Smith, Brendan Walsh, and that concludes everyone. Please give them all a round of applause. Thank you, Trustee Johnson. So if those that are here would like to come up and take a picture with the senator, Senator, if you'd like to come up on the stage as well as those students involved, and if we can get, actually, let's get everybody right in front of the board here. What? I'm up to suggestion.
I'm just saying, there's a lot of stuff up here.
There are on the floor too. So, Deb C., you are the PR guru. Where do you think that would be the best place to take this photo? Okay. So board, I'd ask you to go down to the floor and we'll set up for a picture.
Yeah, let's go by the stairs. Thanks, Art. Thanks, everybody. Yes, of course.
They're gonna get the awards first. And then I guess that's the thing. Yeah, we will just get it.
How's that?
Owen Mills.
Yeah.
We're going with it.
I don't want to stand next to Mr. Orders.
We get the look at it. Come up one step. Keith, you should go down one step, Becky, go up one step. You all right?
On this side, the other right side. Awesome, thank you guys so much.
Yeah.
Got the sound, right?
Me too. Right.
That is powerful.
Thank you. Thank you for being here, Senator. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
I'm glad you said
Thank you so much. You got it.
Hey, great work, everybody. As always.
Thank you.
Let's do it again. Sounds good.
Yeah, great. So.
I felt the same.
I got 5 minutes. Is it a different type of vehicle? Or, yeah.
Yeah, we wanted to wrap it. When we were gonna wrap it, we would wrap it.
All right, if we can move on to a 5.01, public comments on the agenda items. Anyone signed up for public comments? Nobody signed up, so we're going to waive the reading. .02, communication announcements received by the Board of Education. So at this point, I'm going to start off here, if you don't mind. I just want to take a moment to thank all the trustees on the board for their support, right? And I want to thank all the trustees for being involved in all the committees. It takes a lot of time in a lot of these committees, so they've dedicated their time not only to board meetings, but all these additional committee meetings. So I want to take another moment to thank them. I also want to thank our great superintendent for his dedication in moving this district forward. And we just saw a great example of that with the Winners Circle, right? And what he does is he moves this district with the best interest of the students and the staff, right? And encompassing all that, I want to thank the administration. I want to thank all our leaders. I want to thank teachers, custodians, nurses, TAs, clerical facilities, clerical and the facilities department, our bus drivers, our food services, and all our unions that help the district move forward every year, right? Without their help and support, this wouldn't be Wappinger Central School District as we know it. This would be a different district. I also want to thank the former president, John Lumia, for his past services as president for the last 5 years, and also as a board trustee for the last 8 years. I'd like to present Mr. Lumia this evening a plaque for his years of service as president. And the plaque is going to read, "In grateful recognition of your dedicated service as a board president to the Wappinger Central School District Board of Education from 7/1/2019 to 6/30/2024. Thank you, Mr. Lumia. Yeah, please, no speech, John. Who's gonna buy?
He's gonna talk about characters.
Everybody complains about my speeches, but nonetheless, they meant well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Again, I'm looking forward to a stellar year for the 2024-2025 educational year. Thank you.
Thank you, President McFarland.
I'm sorry? I'm sorry, Cheryl. Yeah, I gotta tell you something, and Keith, I apologize all the time, but I can't see you when you raise your hand or something, so you really gotta reach out, so that's it. Because some reason or other, you're in my blind spot here. I think it's his problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, I'm sorry, Cheryl, go ahead.
I just want to say that our amazing students have been off and running since last week with a lot of great activities going on. I want to highlight our cross-country teams on both sides of the district. They've been participating in a lot of big meets lately. On September 7th, both John Jay and RCK participated in the Warwick Valley Wave Mania Invitational. There were about 50 teams. Out of those teams, Ketchum came in 12th and Jay came in 20th. Let's see. Among the varsity athletes, Isaac Menjivar from Ketchum came in 15th, Matt Kowalczyk 18th, and on the girls' side, Abby Kowalczyk came in 2nd. Then on September 10th, the two schools hosted the Section 1 League 1A meet with 8 teams. On the boys' side, Isaac Menjivar came in 2nd, and Matt Kowalczyk came in 3rd. On the girls' side, Abby Kowalczyk came in 2nd. Peyton Matacino from John Jay came in 9th, and Allison Lubenheimer came in 10th. This past weekend, the Ketchum cross-country team went to Queensbury for the Queensbury Invitational, where there were about 150 teams. In that competition, Matt Kowalczyk came in 32nd, Isaac Menjivar came in 40th, Abby Kowalczyk came in 7th, and other runners in the top 100, George Soika came in 85th, Adam Guzal came in 98th, and on the girls' side, Elizabeth Del Rosso came in 92nd. John Jay did not participate in the Queensbury Invitational, but I want to highlight 4 young men from the John Jay cross-country team who are so enthusiastic about running that they took the opportunity to register for the Duchess Classic Half Marathon on their own last weekend. And those are Justin Apollonio, Austin Survey, Paolo Allen Sotomayor, and Zach Freer. Zach actually came in 4th in the 18 and under group. I also want to highlight the fact that the John Jay girls tennis team is sponsoring a pink out next Friday, September 27th, when they play RCK at 4:30 at the Taconic Sport and Racket Club. It would be great if people could go out and support them as they're trying to raise awareness and money for breast cancer research and to support breast cancer victims. And there is also the RCK girls volleyball team is also going to be sponsoring a pink out. That will be on Thursday, October 10th, here at Ketchum when they play John Jay. And the final thing that I want to say is I want to give a shout out to the pep bands at our two schools. They're only a few years old, but they get better and better every year. And the directors are telling me their programs are growing. In just the second week of football competition, the Ketchum Pep Band played last Friday night, and I hear from a very good source on the John Jay side that they are working to perfect their routine and should be playing soon.
Thank you for that information, Cheryl. Mr. Morgan?
Thank you, President McFarland. I just wanted to highlight coming up this week on Wednesday, September 18th, John Jay and Roy C. Ketchum will be playing field hockey. I want to apologize in advance for becoming emotional. That game will honor former John Jay alumna, former John Jay math teacher, and former John Jay field hockey coach, Kerry Roger, who passed away very early this year at the age of 44 after serving the district for 21 years as a teacher. At that game, funds will be raised to go towards the Kerry Roger Memorial Scholarship, which was awarded to two graduating John Jay seniors at graduation this past June. So that game is at 4:30. Please come out and support Jay and Ketchum, and one of our great teachers who is no longer with us. Thank you for understanding.
Thank you, John. Anyone else?
I'd just like to make a comment. I'd like to thank all the students who participated in the Winter Circle Project last year and for the students who participated this year. And I'd also like to thank the teachers for all the work that they do with these students. I'm really proud of them. And the superintendent said project-based learning project is extremely important for these students. So I thank the superintendent for getting us involved in that.
Thank you, John. Moving over to 5.03, committee reports by the boards. Okay, building tours, Ron Burhouse. Didn't mean to put you on the spot.
That's okay. Good?
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, good evening, Dr. Bong, Board of Education. I'd just like to thank the Board of Education for, thank you, toured all the facilities, all 15 facilities on August 21st and 26th. This is where the board reviews all the cleanliness, the ceilings, all the suggestions they want to make, and tells us the schools are ready to go September. Many of the items have come up that where we do in-house projects from the board tours. So again, we thank you. Also like to thank all the district employees that worked in the 90-degree heat. Many in-house projects were done, blacktopping of Bricker Hall, et cetera, the bridges here in Ketchum. So if you go around, many of the projects that the board brought to us have been completed. And they found the building to be in good condition, but they also had many suggestions. So again, thank you, and it's greatly appreciated. I also like to thank you for giving us the manpower that the district needs to maintain the facilities. Thank you much.
Thank you, Mr. Burhouse. Thank you for all your services, and also thank all the people in the facilities department for us. You've done an excellent job this summer. Can we move on to Capital Committee?
I'd like to recognize Trustee Johnson, Trustee Capillari, and Board President McFarland as part of the committee. A couple of items that I just want to bring everybody up to date on. We had mentioned this in previous meetings, but the Wappinger Central School District was awarded a state-funded grant to open up a health clinic. The clinic is going to be located at Wappingers Junior High School. As part of the grant application, the district was required to submit a floor plan layout with measurements of the current health office. That plan has been submitted to the appropriate people for review for the grant. We anticipate having that facility up and running the early part of 2025. Again, we'd like to acknowledge Assistant Superintendent Mr. Zip, who spearheaded this project, along with help and support from Trustee Johnson. An update on the capital projects from 2023. Phase 1, Fishkill Plains Elementary School. If anybody's been driving by Fishkill Plains over the summer, has noticed a tremendous amount of work that was being done there. Some current punch list items are still being worked out. We do have a delivery anticipated towards the end of this month, early October, for the chiller. Just to let everybody know, the chiller is a component for the brand new air conditioning system for the elementary school, and we anticipate having the system up and running spring of 2025. John Jay High School, remember we did have some roof work that was going on there. There are some minor punch list items. We anticipate those items being completed, if not this week, by next week. If anyone also noticed at Wappingers Junior High, we did have the sidewalk concrete was repaired. There was an issue with some curing. There was some chipping. The contractor came back and did all necessary repairs in early August. So far, no problems. The balance of the kitchen hoods throughout the elementary schools and secondary schools will be completed this coming summer of 2025. RCK and John Jay Athletic Field Sound System. Finally, our equipment has arrived, and we have some minor conduit work that has to be done, but we are anticipating the systems to be up and running at the earliest, the end of this month. Worst case would be the beginning of October. A quick update on phase 2 of our Capital 2023 project, which I had mentioned earlier. Unfortunately, we were unable to do any work with that project due to severe delays at the state education department level. Thankfully, those plans were approved. We do have a second walkthrough that is going to be scheduled for, I think, Wednesday of this week. Once that comes back in, bids are due by October 2nd. Once those bids come back, we'll be moving forward with phase 2 project. The Wappingers main garage at the Wappingers Junior High School, again, as soon as the final bids and everything comes back in, that contract will be awarded and work will begin. We are not waiting until the summer to begin on the upgrades to the facility. And just to let everybody know that we are installing temporary trailers for our Wappingers High Transportation Office. One last item at Wappingers Junior High. We have talked about upgrading the audio system. That equipment also has finally arrived, and just logistics of working out of having that equipment to be installed during second or third shift. That's it for right now. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Betty. Could we do audit committee, Mr. Morgan?
Yes, thank you. I'd like to recognize that the audit committee this year has an interested community member. Christine Silva took her oath of office and returns as a community member to the committee, which consists of Trustee Capillari, Trustee Odoms, and in his ex officio capacity, President McFarland attended our meeting earlier this evening. We did the exit interview with the Bonadio Group, our external auditor, and recommended the presentation of the external financial statements to the Board of Education for the September 30th, 2024 meeting. We also reviewed the audit committee's charter and have made a recommendation to the policy committee to make an addition to that, and I've spoken with Trustee Kellen about that. We also reviewed all of our RFPs scheduled to comply with our policies, and we set meeting dates for the remainder of the school year. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we're going to the board retreat. We had a board retreat for all our board members on 9/11 in the evening. We also brought in some sandwiches for everybody. I hope it was good. During our board retreat, we discussed several different methods of communications for the boards, several different policies and laws that we should follow. rules and regulations for the board, different items on discussions and interactions with public, interactions with media. We brought our attorneys in. Our attorneys spent about 2.5 hours going over some rules and regulations and New York State laws for us. So I think that was encompassed, that all of us got a lot of information out of it. That's it on the board retreat. We'll be having another one next year, hopefully, right? Board Officers Academy. Eddie Schleshauer and myself attended a video or a Zoom video with New York State School Board Associations in regards to being a good president and a good vice president for a school board. Also, it kind of encompassed some of the information that we talked about during our board retreat, but in all, it's very informative for a new board president and a new board vice president to be current with all the local information. So I thank you. (601) consent agenda. Anybody want to remove anything from the consent agenda? Eddie?
6.03, item number 3.
Anyone else? Okay.
Resolved that the Board of Education does hereby approve the following consent agenda items as stated. 6.02, 6.03, not item 3, 6.04, 6.05, 6.06, 6.07, 6.08, 6.09, 6.010, and 6.11.
Motion? Peggy, second. Marie? All in favor? Any discussion on it? No? Okay. Okay. 6.03, item 1. 3, I'm sorry.
Resolved that the Board of Education does hereby approve the following consent agenda items listed as stated. 6.03, item number 3.
So moved by Marie Johnson, second by Peggy. All in favor? Unanimous, except for Eddie. Eddie abstains from the vote. Sure.
It is with great pleasure that I welcome our newest administrator, assistant principal, Wappingers Junior High School, Mrs. Alondra Price. Welcome, Mrs. Price. We are very glad to have you on board and congratulate you. Ms. Price has taught at Van Wyck Junior High School for a number of years, and we know she's going to be an outstanding administrator. Congratulations.
Welcome to
Van Wyck. Well, I was quickly corrected. Wappingers Junior High School. I noticed the applause I got. Thank you, Trustee Otis. Congratulations, Mrs. Price. No transfer, no.
What number are we on? 7.01. Okay, new business. 7.01, approval of use of district mark and royalty agreement with Kerr Bear Customs and Makers Place LLC.
Resolved that the Board of Education does hereby approve the use of school district names and logoed official marks and the royalty agreement between the Wappingers Central School District and Keir Bear Customs and Makers Place LLC, effective September 17th, 2024. The Board of Education allows Kerr Bear Customs and Makers Place LLC the non-exclusive rights and a license to use the district's official marks on fabrics, shirts and bags, and customized card decals. Kerr Bear Customs and Makers Place LLC then issues payment to the district at a 10% of net sales, which are accepted as a donation to the general fund. Be it further resolved that the Board of Education does hereby authorize President of the Board of Education to sign the royalty agreement with Care Bear Customs and Makers LLC as stated.
Motion, Virgil, second by Keith. Discussion? All in favor? Jumping ahead. Jumping ahead. Unanimous. So moved. Eddie wants to go home. 8.01, board, I'm sorry, 7.02, approval of altered mark RCK athletics.
Whereas the board approved a revision to policy 5260, authorized use of school district marks on May 13th, 2024, which states the district marks may not be altered without the approval of the Board of Education. And whereas the football program at Roy C. Ketchum High School has submitted a request for approval of an altered mark. Now, therefore, be it resolved, the Board of Education does hereby approve the use of the altered district mark for the Roy C. Ketchum Athletic Department as depicted in the attached use of marks form and memo submitted by Assistant Director Michael Corsano. Be it further resolved, the Board of Education authorizes the board clerk to add this mark to the chart of approved altered marks.
Motion, Peggy, second by Marie Johnson. Discussion? All in favor? Unanimous. Now we can go to 8.01. Board members may request additional agenda items, discussion items, or request for information. Any additional item requests?
Well, you had 8.01.
8.01. I'm sorry. 8.02. Motion to amend the agenda to add a resolution regarding a student matter. Peggy nominate and John Lumia second. Discussion? All in favor? Unanimous. 8.03, approval of transportation request.
Resolved that the Board of Education does hereby deny the transportation request related to student 091624.
So moved. Marie, second. Peggy, all in favor? Unanimous. 9.01, comments from the public. Do we have anyone signed up for public? Thank you. 10.01, Board President will ask for a motion to adjourn the meeting. John Lumia makes the motion to adjourn. Second by Heath. All in favor? Unanimous. Thank you, everyone.
Let me just finish. Resolved that the Board of Education does hereby adjourn the September 16th, 2024 Board of Education meeting. The time is now 8:24 p.m.
Thank you.